good, everyone? It's Zigzag here. Welcome back to another GeoGuessr video, and welcome back to another episode of the series where I'm grinding towards the #1 rank in GeoGuessr, the Champion Division. I'm currently sitting at the second highest rank, the Master Division. The twist is, though, of course, that I'm playing without moving, panning, or zooming. Meanwhile, all my opponents will be moving around looking for clues. They haven't added NMPZ or no moving to the official game. We have to make up our own rules here, and of course, that is what we're doing today. Well, our first opponent is Tim McCarthy here, from the UK presumably, and it's a lower ranked player, so I think it's definitely beneficial to get those guesses in as fast as possible. First one here really reminded me of Argentina, though I'm not really sure how far north or south we're going to be here. The vibes are kind of mixed. I think it's more northerly feeling, but I think a Catamarca here is probably going to be enough. Let's take a look around to see how much I like to guess. It definitely feels north, actually. Just the vegetation and the dryness. Considering we're so far up on the mountains, it still feels really warm, so that is my logic, but we'll see. I've been very wrong inside the Andes before. Bit further south there, but yeah, the fast tactics pay off as our opponent, unsurprisingly, somewhat goes in Mexico. Definitely kind of look like Mexico, but yeah, once you've played enough, you definitely recognize that difference. Next one here, though, we've got a sign on the left for Australia here. Definitely feels like Queensland to me, the white soil combined with the kind of tropical vegetation, but I'm not really too sure how far up. I think Rockhampton City's a decent hedge here. Kind of more likely to be further south in my opinion, but it also stands that it could be further north as well, so I think the guess is absolutely fine. And there's a good chance that old Tim does not know that it's Australia and we just two-round him. Instead, it was actually in... Wow, I wouldn't have guessed that that was in New South Wales. But it was further south, and we do damage. Our opponent gets the state, though, so well done to Timothy there. Next one here is kind of interesting. Are we driving left-hand side of the road? Looks like we aren't. We should be in... this might be the Mekong River in Cambodia, I think. Where does it cross? We can actually get the 5K here, potentially. We're going kind of northeast across the river here. Okay. I mean, what about this one? I don't exactly think it's there, but the general kind of vicinity looks like it could be somewhat correct, and the angle is almost correct, if not correct. Maybe this one looks better here. I think it might be this one, but regardless, we should be relatively close. I think it is indeed there, and yeah, it was that one. Would have been nice to get the 5K, but, you know, that is absolutely okay, and we do a good amount of damage there. Again, it's just good to go fast against an opponent who we have such an advantage against. Next one here is US or Canada, I assume. He looks more like the Canadian side to me. This should be British Columbia, though I think it's pretty close to the US border just because of how dry it is, but also how flat it is. But yeah, it could actually still be on the US side. There's nothing definitive here, just the vibes, and also I think Generation 3 coverage may at this stage be more common on the Canadian side, but we'll find out where it is. And it was actually indeed in Idaho there. Definitely I would have gone like Montana or Washington, but not Idaho. But to be fair, our opponent gets the state again, so Tim McCarthy can pull good guesses. So every opponent is scary when they can move around. The next one here I don't immediately know. I think it should be Bolivia, based on the poles. This kind of wiggly wooden pole is very Bolivian. Apart from that, I wasn't really sure, so thank goodness for poles, I guess. We're going north-south here. I'm just going to click in Santa Cruz because it is kind of green. And looking around, we are indeed there. This view was surprisingly difficult for Bolivia. When you see here, this type of pole that's kind of rickety looking, it's just guaranteed to be there. So we should get closer than our opponent here, and we do. Brazil's a good guess, of course, but we are indeed going to knock him out with that guess. And we're going to get a few points here. 5 points-ish, maybe 9 points even. Not too bad. Actually, maybe we do want to face lower-rated opponents here, because that was a nice little boost for someone who was kind of unlikely to beat us all in all. Next opponent here is Finnish, and we are starting in that part of the world here. I think Sweden here. Yeah, looks like Sweden to me. I'm not really sure how far north or south here, but our opponent is giving us the kind of question mark face here. Why is that? Anyway, looks like we do have Swedish language, so I think the guess is just fine here. And that is an interesting flag. Is that a state flag or something? Ooh, much further north than I had expected. Opponent's closer, of course, and yeah, I think even after looking around there, did not suspect that it would be that far north, so not so good. Okay, next one here. We'll wave back to our opponent, I guess. Can we? There we go. We have lots of palms here. And this is not such an easy round, you know. It could be Indo, could be Philippines. That's really the vibes here. I think... Wait, I'm actually kind of confused. This is interesting. I think Philippines is more likely. I do, but I'm going to go southern to hedge for Indonesia because we could be there. Let's take a look around. We have Black Kuka. We should be in Indonesia then. But we should be in Sulawesi, North Maluku, something like that. Unless we were somehow in West Sumatra, which also has like a lot of palms like that. And yeah, it was North Sula. So yeah, our fast guess does pay off, I guess. They're very similar areas with that many coconut palms, but would have been nice to have done 5,000 points instead of 2,000 for sure. Next one here is French, and should be very far south. Our opponent will know that pretty quickly, so I'm just going to go into Avignon and leave the guess. Let's take a look around. Could we be wrong? Well, it looks like it's French language, and I don't think it's Corsica. It is theoretically possible, but yeah, well, it's just southwestern France there, and our opponent gets a nice little guess, hedging for the south there. So well done to him. But next round here, loading up, and we have a little bit of Australia action this time. Similar kind of area. We have a stilts house, so that should be Queensland. But this does feel, I mean, it is Queensland. I think I see something on the poll that would indicate that, but it doesn't feel too far north here. So I'm going to go out here near Miles. I think that's a good guess. But yeah, this new coverage in Australia, as I keep on banging on about, it's just really difficult for me to get correct because all the old coverage that I learnt so well is now gone. And that's actually out near Barcaldine there in Jericho. Did not expect it to be that green out there, but I guess, you know, inland Queensland is quite a bit greener than inland other states. So yeah, doesn't entirely surprise me. Next one here, Montenegro, Albania. Probably Montenegro here, I would say. Reason being, kind of hard to explain why. Let's look for the rifts. We don't have the rifts. We do. I still think we are still there. Yes, we have the bollard. I don't know why I knew that this was there. Just know the coverage, but okay, well, it was actually Serbia. I was still pretty convinced it was there once I'd guessed, and our opponent, seeing that there's no antenna, goes in North Macedonia and gets a good guess. So, bit of hubris there. Thought I was correct, was not. Next one here should be somewhere in Guatemala with the red bottom of the poll. Our opponent should know that, so I can take some time here to get a region guess. I think it kind of feels maybe north of the capital here, and it was northeast of the capital instead. So yeah, our opponent's definitely playing very solid here. Pretty good stuff for a 900 rated player. We need to lock in. And we have a single yellow road line here. Should be Canada. And the hills would indicate BC here. So let's just go straight in. Our opponent should know the general area, so it's a bit of a risk to go so quickly. But yeah, this time with the single yellow line, we should indeed be in BC. Dry mountains plus that. I mean, you don't really get that anywhere else in Canada. And obviously in the US, the single yellow line is just exceedingly rare. Was out near Kamloops there, that explains the dryness. Opponent's guess is pretty good, although definitely safer to just go in BC when you see those kind of mountains, because Alberta does not have too much of that landscape. Next one here, is it Spain? It is. Definitely slight south vibes, but I wouldn't commit all the way. I'm just going to go like this. And it was southeasterly. So definitely on all the Europe rounds, our opponent is guessing very nicely. And then on all the other rounds, I'm outguessing him. So we just have to, you know, fade a bit of Europe and we should be okay. Next one here, is this Iceland somehow? I believe so. It's not really my favorite side to see, but I think northeasterly mountains there. I think we're just here. I think we're in Reykjavik, just by how big the city seems, but we'll see about that. It's still possible to be elsewhere, I suppose. Yeah, Iceland, definitely NMPZ. If you're in a suburb like this, just facing this way, right away from a plate, it can be very difficult to get. And fortunately, we put the pressure on and our opponent does not know it. GG's to them there, and we pull, what is it, 12 points. Again, great. We could actually make it in this episode. If we get some bigger wins here, we could actually make it to the champion division. We're gonna get very close regardless. Ooh, we have a big opponent here. Full elo here, just under champion division. If he beats us, he will go through. And here we are in Ireland, or I think the road kind of feels Irish, but it's very remarkably hilly. I think I have to go Wales here just because of how undulating it is, but it could be like County Cork or something like that. And I definitely prefer UK looking around, but that was Isle of Man, that's why. Yeah, was not quite sure about that. Isle of Man, technically not part of the UK, right? Am I right? So, yeah, I was wrong. But there we go, definitely looked like Ireland with the architecture, but something was a bit wrong about the landscape. Next one here, Interesting, Indonesia for sure, but I have no idea where. I think it's time to guess very soon. And I'm still unsure, though. I saw something that kind of looks like something I've seen in East Kalimantan, so I'm going to guess there. It's nice and central. I think this light is kind of common there, not that it's exclusive at all. The palms are not looking too good here, but I'm really not sure. It should be probably Sulawesi or maybe even Maluku. We'll see. And it was Sula, so technically not a good guess, but we get a lot closer. I'm not going to complain about that against a highly rated opponent. That's really, really good news. Okay, next one here is Thailand. We have a big concrete road here. We have a hook on the top of the pole. That should be a Filipino one, and I'm going to hedge northern here because that's the vibe I got. And yeah, we have the Philippines car here. I do think it's north still, although Philippines is, it's remarkably difficult to get the right region sometimes. Here we move into new coverage, and our opponent will get this, so it's a question of who's closer. He goes Thailand. He actually does have the vibe that I had initially had here, and we get a good guess as well. So he could get flawless here, which would be quite devastating for him, considering how close he is to the next division. But we have to get the right country here first. I think this is actually Kenyan poles, but the back of the car did not look Kenyan. But yeah, I think everything fits for Kenya. So, wait, I'm struggling to place this in Kenya, though. We're definitely driving left. Could it be Rwanda? I think it's Kenya, though. I guess it has to be Western Kenya if it looks like this. Very interesting. We're growing tea here. I mean, Rwanda's not too far. We're not going to lose too many points, but it's just so strange looking around. I guess it could be Nairobi as well, but I'm going to go Kisumu here, maybe even here. And yeah, we get a really nice guess there. He had the pressure on. I thought normally you could see the back of the Google car in Kenya, but apparently sometimes you don't see the kind of tray of the Google car. That's okay. Next one here. We got volcanoes. Are we in Chile or Peru? Would be my question here. I think Chile is actually more likely. Our opponent immediately goes for it here. 2019 coverage. I think I do prefer Chile here, but I'm really not too sure about that. Could easily be Peru with this mountain. Maybe I should go in Peru. I'm going to leave it in Chile. And it was actually just southern Peru there, so we have the same vibe. Opponent goes for a pretty good guess there, but we do more damage. It could still be the flawless here, despite us missing the country there. And small countries are great now. We can just out-region guess him. This is, of course, in... So that mountain's 2 hours. I think I like eastern Romania here, or yeah, this kind of area could work quite nicely. But yeah, this is Romanian. It is eastern Romania, and I think that's going to be it. Wowee, this is about as well as it could have gone. GG's to our opponent there. Yeah, 19 points. I mean, actually, it's really better to get lower rated opponents, isn't it? Because we only get 19 points for a big win. Whereas, the low-rated opponents still give us 10 points. So, but we're against another Frenchman here who has a similar rating, but I think it's a different person here. So, hello to them, and let's get into things here. We've got a bit of southern Nigeria action, fairly hilly, so I want to click a bit further west here, but could really be anywhere in that southern region that kind of all looks fairly similar. Ondo State. I think that's near where we clicked, maybe. It is. Nice. Okay. It's got Owo in it. So Ondo has Owo. That's really good to know. 200 points of damage there. Really good region guess. Man, things are really going our way today. Let's see if we can continue with that. South Africa here, driving left. That's more of a northeastern pole style there. So I'm thinking this is actually north of Joburg, which wasn't my first thought, but I'm just going to go here. I think this is a fine guess. Well, this pole is kind of rare there, though, so let's have a look around. Yeah, this could actually be West Cape, but I do think that this pole top... No, that's crazy. It should be north, but this pole top is definitely northeasterly. So, yeah, still not quite sure, but I think I'm okay. And it was the other side of Pretoria. That's why I couldn't quite put my finger on it. Ends up being near Rustenburg there, but yeah, good amount of damage, not going to complain. Again, this could be like a 15 ELO game, so we could actually make it today, which would be crazy. But I might leave it on a cliffhanger as well. I'm not sure. We'll see how quickly things go. Anyway, next one here. No front plate. Think that would probably indicate to me that this is more likely to be Saskatchewan. I didn't really think Alberta here either. So yeah, I think I'll just go for like a fairly northern Saskatchewan here. But it should be that part of the world. We have Rocanville. Technically findable, I suppose, but probably a pretty small place. Can we see that? I think it's pretty far north here because we are starting to get to the Aspen line, and it was actually a bit further south than what I thought. Our opponent goes in the middle of America, but really the Generation 2 camera and the thick signpost, those two things together, you really should always be in Canada. This is Italy. This is like almost an exact repeat from the World Cup, but I couldn't exactly remember where that was, but I think it was like somewhere up in the mountains, like here or something. So if I'm right, I guess. It was like a pocket. It was like maybe this one here, or this one here or something. Regardless, hopefully I'm close. It's definitely Italy because we have this kind of thick guardrail ending. That was west there. Opponent goes in Nice. Fair enough guess. Just chipping there, but nice to fool the Frenchman into going in France. Next one here. 1.5 times damage. We appear to be in Japan with this, this thing on the side here, and it gives me very neutral vibes. This could be north, could be south. I'm going to go slightly north of Tokyo here. Really, it's just a hedge to stay alive. As we take a look around, it was close by, so our opponent going in Shikoku there. Shikoku would probably have taller trees than what we had here, but, I mean, I don't blame him. His guess, like, Japan is just difficult. Next one here, we have some... We're on a land bridge in Sweden. We have trees that are fairly tall. So I don't want to go too far north here. I'm just going to kind of click around here, I think, where all the lakes are, or where a good majority of the lakes are. Let's take a look around. We have a red road. Feels good. Should be indeed Sweden. And I think the guess is good, but our opponent's guess is better. Must have found Luxor. Yeah, found Luxor. Typical Frenchman, being able to find things really quickly. But, you know, doesn't bother me because we can still out-region guess him, hopefully, elsewhere. This is Japan, speaking of countries that are hard to do that in. This time I felt more Western. This kind of feels like Kyushu out this direction somewhere. Vibe guessing Japan is pretty tough, though. Like, I'm pretty likely to be wrong. But I still like it. I still like the guess. We'll find out. We can look at the poll, I guess, but... Yeah, would fit, I think. Yeah, I think that's a Kyushu. Oh, no, it's not at all. Oh, was it? Yeah, of course, it was the Tokyo one with the 3 numbers. 1.8k damage there. First big damage we've taken in the video, I think. Which is crazy, but... Next one here. Hopefully it's not too hard. We have... Greece, I think. Is this 2023? 2021? Bulgaria, maybe, then. It looks like Greece, so I think I want to go Bulgaria. 2021 would make sense for Bulgaria. It's fairly rural for that. Yeah, we are in Bulgaria. Nice. Oh, wow. Great region guess. That's why it looks so Greek, because it was right on the border. Copyrights help out there. Probably would have gone in this region of Greece, or maybe I would have gone Bulgarian border because I thought it was possible. But yeah, copyright helps out. Next one here. Slovakia or Czechia? Could be both. I don't really see any way to tell them apart here. So I am going to go in Slovakia on the Czech border. Trechin area. I think it's fine. Okay, so what copyright do we have? I should have checked that. It's probably 2019, yeah. So it's Czechia. You don't get 2019 in Slovakia. It could be Western Czechia too, so we could be in trouble. And it was Western Czechia, and our opponent goes in Slovenia, so we do a good amount of damage there, 1.1k. If I read top Czech copyright twice in a row, then we would have just won, but that's okay. Next one here. We are in, oh wow. East we have, do you feel like we have Ocean East here? But that's Cape-style architecture. Okay, we have to do a bit of a hedge here. Let's go in there. Reason I go there is because this architecture really looks more colonial, looks more old style. But it also kind of looks like Western Cape. Yeah, nice. Oh, wow, it wasn't even coast. Ooh, we probably would have got closer if I had noticed that. But yeah, the architecture really helped out there. And that is a good little win. 15 points. Okay. Let's see how quickly we get this one, guys. Let's see how quickly we get this win. But we're a master traveler now. Tygoat, leveling up in the world. And so, now we are back in South Africa. It's been a good country for us today. We've consistently been closer. And this one feels like Joburg area, I would say. Yeah, this feels very similar to the last one we had. I do not know why we have palms. I think they must just be planted. So I'm actually going to go in the capital here. One of the capitals. We have green plates. This is actually further south. This maybe that explains the palms as well. Maybe we're out this direction, or because the green plates shouldn't really be found where we were. Oh, but they are. Excellent. Oh, it was the northwest plates, and our opponent goes in Malaysia. Put the pressure on there. To be fair, it was the palm trees did not feel like that area, so I sympathize with our opponent's guess, but yeah, just a tough one there. This could this ever be Saint Pierre Miquelon? I think it's more likely to be Prince Edward Island, but somewhere with red soil that's pretty far north, yeah. It could also be prairies, I suppose, but I think I like PEI. It does kind of strike me like that with the red soil. I mean, it's just remarkably... Oh, yeah. This was a tough game for our opponent. It actually did kind of look south because of the red soil, of course, but yeah, GG's to our opponent there. Okay, maybe we make it today. Or maybe I leave it on a cliffhanger. This will be the last game. Can we get 20 points? Okay, last game is against our friend... Oh, well, see, I don't think our friend will go Kamchatka here, so we'll see. Maybe we will play one more. Let's find out. Let's go here. I think the you can often see the volcanoes pretty close to the capital, or pretty close to Petropavlovsk. So yeah, and I think our opponent is very unlikely to know where this is. Yeah, he does go Russia, so that's at least something. But that's almost knockout damage on round 1 there. Very much the type of place you want to get against low-rated opponents, because NMPZ, you immediately know where you are, and the opponent's just got no hope if they've never seen it before. This is a bit harder. Feels like Spain to me. Yeah, we have oleanders. That definitely feels like maybe more of a southern Spain thing. This could even be Parma, you know. I'm gonna go for that. Let's be a bit fancy. Oh, it was actually Greece. Wow. Okay. I thought the architecture looked more Spanish, and our opponent gets a nice guess there. So, okay, let's not speak too soon. We may actually take a loss here. Next one here, we're driving right. We are in the US, I believe. So sun feels more southern, yeah. And it is kind of difficult to say where I think we are, you know. I think we do have to go for a guess soon. I do think it's kind of interior. Tennessee, maybe. It's very flat for Tennessee, admittedly. We do have a front plate. It's a bit further north. Could it be Illinois? That would be kind of a weird Illinois, but the road would kind of fit. I'm just going to go for Illinois here. Red soil does not feel too good. I don't know where this is, though. Where is it? So it's US. I think I like that. The red barns feels a bit further north, too. But then again, these trees, they're a bit more middle. We'll see. I don't think we're too bad here. Where is it? Kansas. Yeah, not too bad of a guess. Got the right latitude. I think when I looked around, it definitely felt more out that direction. But I'm happy that we just plunked in the middle. That was the wise thing to do. Back in South Africa here. This also should be fairly north, just vibes-wise. We do have a kind of a mountain there, though. Easterly Mountain. Is it Joburg, or is it something more out this direction? Some weird mountains that you get on the borders here. I'm gonna hedge it. Hedge it middle. This could also be down here. This is not an easy one. Let's take a look around. It definitely feels quite populated. It definitely does give me more of a north vibe now that I look around, but it could actually be anywhere. Like, we're just in an estate. Yeah, okay. Out near Ladysmith. That's why you do get big mountains out near Ladysmith. Opponent goes same as me, basically, or same distance. Okay, proving to be very good after the Kamchatka guess. Next one here. Double yellows. Are we in Ecuador? I think so. Could we be in Mexico? Double yellows would be weird for Mex. Where's the sun? Sun's kind of east, more north. I think it's Ecuador. Double yellow line, you'd have to send west of the Andes, because that doesn't really exist east of the Andes, so he is hoping. I don't actually confirm that this is Ecuador yet, but it is. Okay, excellent stuff. Ecuadorian stuff. Man, terrible joke. Okay, we're still kicking. We've got double the health. I have to back myself here. Russia should be good for us. Even NMPZ should be good. Oh, yeah. Looks like we might have blurred antenna here. Very dark soil. I have to go for a bit of a punt here. We do have some wooden houses which look a bit further west, but I think actually might just be out here. It's better to just go quickly anyway. Let's take a look around. Oh, long antenna. I think this is further west than where we clicked. I was kind of hoping that would be short antenna. Yeah, this could be bad. No, fortunately, yeah, I knew that I was kind of likely to be safe going out here, because if I go quickly, then opponent just has much more incentive to click middle. Whereas if he moves around and has a bit more of a vibe, he might click Moscow instead. Anyway. What do we have here? Is that Latvian poll? 2022 could be. Those signs. It's. I don't think the trees feel that north though. Oh. And we don't have road lines or anything because it's a brand new road, so this makes life a bit difficult, you know. I don't know if we get those traffic things. I can't think of a way to actually distinguish this. Latvian poll. Is it Latvia Cam? Is it old Latvia Cam? I have to trust it. Let's see. Let's take a look around. Ooh, house feels good. Bollards feel good. We should be good, right? Yeah. I would like to think so. Opponent, will he know it as well? Because this was not an easy Latvia to me. He does go in Lithuania, yeah. So we do a bit of damage there, but it was a little risky. I was thinking that those like might be in even Bulgaria sometimes, because they have that pole top too. Next one here. Where are we? Are we in Norway? Norway, are we in Norway? Why is that set up for left-hand drive, by the way? Very strange. But yeah, these long dashes, and the birches. Kind of feels like middle of Norway, maybe. Copyright? No, I think we can just go here. I think it's better to just go here, maybe. Could still be south. We're kind of hedging to stay alive. Mountains feel a bit further north. We could actually get knocked out by a big north guess here, especially with the winter coverage. I think we're at, like, Sandvik. It's probably... Oh, yeah, it's quite a bit further north there. That could be knockout damage. Triple damage there. It's close. 1.8k, yeah. Yeah, so definitely warranted a better guess, but we have to clutch it up now. I don't know what I was thinking there. Next one. Colombia's rather unpleasant here, I must say. But I do have a vibe which would make me go around here. Let's go for that. Looking around, we need a good guess here. Is it just south, or have we guessed nicely? I think I like my guess better than a south guess, but he's probably going to go middle, and it's going to be a bit of luck here, because we both have such low health. Well, let's hope my guess is good. Where will it be? And it was in Mexico, which I did consider, admittedly. And we knock him out, or we don't knock him out. That's good. I didn't want to win that way. We'll both laugh. We'll both laugh. Okay. What do we have here? We have a yellow and a white line, and we are in Philippines, and we have to hedge him here. It's a lot of palms. Just have to go with the meta that, you know, more palms south. Let's hedge like this. We probably could have gone a bit further north. Ooh, it's an interesting tuk-tuk. Just because he's probably going to click middle here, but yeah, you know, we ball. It looks more south to me. We'll see about that. And he might just go south. Oh, and it is just middle. I should have just clicked. Yeah, good guess from our opponent there. It's 900 points of damage. GG, 38 health. So, this series still has another episode in it yet. GG's to Peanuts lol. I mean, lots of ways I could have just won there. Russia was a bit silly where I sent west. We could have just won. It didn't have when I sent east. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, that is it for the video. I'll see you guys next time, and goodbye.